Assalamu alaikum, rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings upon each and every one here who sees this video. My name is Kenny Bomer. My Muslim name is Mujahid Islam. I am the author of the forthcoming book, Consider Islam. And this is second refutation of this particular show that was broadcast by Jinn and Tonic, where they were having a conversation with the Muslim brother. Once again, as in the last video, I want to commend that Muslim brother for being so patient in the midst of just rude and sarcastic comments that he was bombarded with the whole time, and from people that basically just being irrational, being very anal, and being very just absolutely ridiculous and absurd. So one thing that they mentioned, they talked about homosexuality. In the previous video, I addressed the refutation regarding mountains in the Quran. You can watch that video. And in this one, I want to address homosexuality. And this is something I don't usually talk about or engage in, but I want you to listen to what is said early in the video, and you'll see why I'm going to address it. So let's go into their video, and we'll get started with it. So let's see, where was it? They're going to be the... Aha, here we are. Listen to this.
You really hear from these sort of people. They just sort of make one-line comments and leave it at that, and whatever's in their heads.
But there's nothing in the Quran that prohibits homosexuality.
Yeah, so then I wonder on what basis he's making that claim. Is it the scholars? And if it is, where are the scholars getting that information? And as you say, if it's not from the Quran, then being a Quranist kind of is a bit of a contradiction there.
Yeah, it's weird, eh?
Yep, a shout out there to Answer Scientific Method and to everybody else who's watching.
Okay, so that's enough. As you see, one of these characters said that there's nothing mentioned in the Quran about homosexuality. And Rob, who seems to think that this individual that was speaking is an authority on the Quran, just accepted what he said without looking into it himself. And I'm sure most of the listeners did the same thing, if not all of them. And so little do they know that there's actually 10 references to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala condemning homosexuality in the Quran. And so let's look into those. You want to? Look how easy it is. You just simply go to the internet and go to the Quran, and let's see what we find here. Let's go to the first one. What I'm using is QuranExplorer.com. And so let's go to the first surah of the Quran that addresses it. Let me log into this particular site. Okay. It's just startling that these people continually attack Islam, and they talk like they're having a true understanding about what Islam teaches, and act like they're authorities on the topic, and they are really doing a great injustice to people who are listening to them and following them and believing what they say, because they're actually deceiving people, and they're leading people astray along the way. So let's go to Surah Al-Araf, and let's go to, it's going to be the 81st ayah of the Quran. And so we're going to go straight to the 81st ayah of the Quran, and let's see what it says here. It says, okay, it says, verily, you go in lustfully unto men instead of women. Aye, you are a people extravagant. And naught was the answer of his people, save they said, drive them forth from your city. Verily, there are people who would be pure. Okay, let's read a different translation in that particular. We'll go to Yusuf Ali. It says, for you practice your lust on men in preference to women. You are indeed a people transgressing beyond bounds. Transgressing beyond bounds. Let's go to the next surah. The very next surah, matter of fact. Go to Surah Al-Anfal, and we'll go to the 77th surah, or excuse me, ayah of the Quran. 8th surah and 77th. Let me get my glasses. I can't see. I'm at the wrong surah. So the 11th surah of the Quran and the 77th ayah. Alhamdulillah. So what does it say? It says, when our messengers came to Lut, which is the Prophet Lot alayhi salam, it says he was grieved on their account and felt himself powerless to protect them. He said, this is a distressful day, and his people came rushing towards him, and they had been long in the habit of practicing abominations. And he said, O my people, here are my daughters. They are pure for you if you marry. Now fear Allah and cover me not with shame about my guests. The people were trying to get to the males that had come from, that were sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's go to the 15th surah of the Quran, Al-Hijr, and it's going to be the 58th through the 77th ayah. We may not cover all of these in this particular video. There's no need, but there are 10 different surahs of the Quran addressing these issues of homosexuality. In Al-Hijr it says, they said, we've been sent to the people deep in sin. Alhamdulillah, this is the angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they're saying, they said, we have been sent to people deep in sin, accepting the adherence of Lut, meaning the family of Lot, except for his wife. Them we are certainly changed to save from harm, all except his wife, who we have ascertained will be among those who lag behind. At length, when the messengers arrived among the adherents of Lot, he said, you appear to be uncommon folk. They said, yeah, we have come to accomplish that which they doubt. We have brought to thee that which is inevitably due, and assuredly we tell you the truth. Then travel by night with thy household when a portion of the night yet remains, and do thou bring up the rear. Let no one amongst you look back, but pass on whither you are ordered. And we made known this decree to him, and the last remnants of those sinners should be cut off by the morning. Alhamdulillah. It's talking about the homosexuals in Sodom and Gomorrah. So let's go to the 21st surah of the Quran. These guys said that the Quran does not address homosexuality. On the contrary, let's go to the 74th ayah. It says, and to Lot too we gave judgment and knowledge, and we saved him from the town which practiced abominations. Truly they were a people given to evil, a rebellious people. And we admitted to him our mercy, for he was one of the righteous. Praise be to Allah. Let's go to the next one, 26th surah. The 26th surah of the Quran. All you have to do is get online. You have information right there at your fingertips. Go to true Islamic sources and find out the information instead of passing judgment on things that you have no true knowledge of. Let's go to the 161st ayah. Matter of fact, it's going to be 161 through 175. We're going to read all of these. Let me go ahead and narrow these down right here. Alhamdulillah. Once again, I already disputed these guys in regards to what the Quran says about mountains in the last video, where I'm refuting the same video. Let's go. It says, it says, behold, their brother Lot said to them, will you not fear Allah? I am to you a messenger worthy of all trust. So once again, in the days of Lot, the Prophet Lot, he was being denied as well. Jesus, peace and blessing be upon him, was denied. Musa was denied. Ibrahim he was denied. The Prophet Muhammad he is denied as well. If we live closer to the days of the Prophet Lot, we'd be talking about Lot all the time, right? And he'd be the one being attacked. But instead, it's the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. Let's read what it says. It says, I am to you a messenger worthy of all trust. So fear Allah and obey me. No reward do I ask of you for it. My reward is only from the Lord of the worlds. Of all the creatures in the world, will you approach males and leave those whom Allah has created for you to be your mates, meaning leaving the women? Nay, you are a people transgressing all limits. And they said, if you do not desist, this is the people of Sodom and Gomorrah responding to the Prophet Lot, saying, they said, if you desist not, O Lot, thou will surely be cast out. And he said, I do detest your doings. O my Lord, deliver me and my family from such things as they do. So we delivered him and his family, all except an old woman who lingered behind. Then the rest we destroyed utterly. We rained down on them a shower of brimstone, and evil was the shower on those who were admonished, but heeded not. Verily, in this is a sign. But most of them did not believe. And verily, thy Lord is he, the exalted in might, the most merciful. I want to point out the fact that the Prophet Lot, peace and blessing be upon him, was warning these people. They didn't want to listen. Okay, we see the same thing happening today. We see the same thing happening with individuals on this Jinn and Tonic Show, right? They don't want to listen. They think they got it all figured out. They're sarcastic, smart aleck. They think they've got it all figured out, but all the while they're receiving warning after warning after warning. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent down fire from the sky. The scholars believe it was probably from a volcano. And so it says, and verily thy Lord is he, the exalted in might and the most merciful. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending these warnings, but he always follows it with saying, but Allah is the most gracious, the most merciful for those who turn back to him. You still have time until the day of judgment. You have time, but time is running out. You don't know what tomorrow brings. Let's go to the next one. The very next surah, matter of fact, 27. Let's go to Surah Al-Naml. It says in the 55th through the 58th ayah regarding homosexuality that they claim the Quran says nothing about. It says, would you really approach men in your lust rather than women? Nay, you are people grossly ignorant. But this people gave no other answer but this. They said, drive out the followers of Lot from your city. These are indeed men who want to be clean and pure. But we saved him and his family, except his wife. Her we destined to be of those who lag behind. And we rained down on them a shower of brimstone. And evil was the shower on those who were admonished, but heeded not. Praise be to Allah. So let's go to the 29th surah of the Quran. What does it say? Surah Al-Ankabut. So it says in the 26th surah, ayah rather, 29th surah, the 26th ayah, and we're going to go through 26 through 35. It says, but Lot had faith in him, and he said, I will leave home for the sake of my Lord, for he is exalted in might and wise. And we gave Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and ordained among his progeny prophethood and revelation. And we granted him his reward in this life, and he was in the hereafter of the company of the righteous. And remember Lot. Behold, he said to his people, you do commit lewdness, such as no people in creation ever committed before you. Alhamdulillah. What is it saying? It says, you do commit lewdness such as no people in creation ever before you. Do you indeed approach men and cut off the highway and practice wickedness even in your own counsels? But his people gave no answer but this. They said, bring us the wrath of Allah if you tell us the truth. And he said, O my Lord, help thou against me, against people who do mischief. And when our messengers came to Abraham with the good news, they said, we are indeed going to destroy the people of this township, for truly they're addicted to crime. And he said, but there's Lot there. And they said, we know well who is there. We will certainly save him and his following, except his wife. She is of those who lag behind. And when our messengers came to Lot, he was grieved on their account and felt himself powerless to protect them. But they said, Fear thou not, nor grieve. We are here to save thee and thy following, except thy wife. She is of those who lag behind. For we are going to bring down on the people of this township a punishment from heaven, because they have been wickedly rebellious. And we have left thereof an evident sign for any people who care to understand. Once again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending us warning after warning. Praise be to Allah. He's sending us warning after warning, and people are rejecting. People are turning away. People are leading others astray. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts my effort to guide people back to the straight path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surat al-Mustaqim. Let's go to the next one. The 37th ayah. 37th surah, the 33rd ayah. Okay, Surah As-Safat, and we're going to go to the 33rd ayah regarding homosexuality in the Quran that they claim does not exist. And it says, truly that day they will all share in the penalty. Verily, this is how we shall deal with sinners. For they, when they were told that there is no God except Allah, would puff themselves up with pride, just like they do on this Jinn and Tonic Show. And they would say, What shall we give up our gods for the sake of a poet possessed? Once again, they criticize the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam constantly, and they don't want to give up this worldly life. And so it's saying, and they say, what shall we give up our gods for the sake of this poet? Nay, he has come with the very truth, and he confirms the message of the messengers before him. You shall indeed taste of the grievous penalty, but it will be no more than a retribution of the evil that you have wrought upon yourself. But the sincere and devoted servants of Allah, for them is sustenance determined, fruits and delights, and they shall enjoy honor and dignity in gardens of felicity, facing each other on thrones of dignity. Praise be to Allah. Let's go to the next one. The 54th surah of the Quran, discussing homosexuality that they claim did not exist in the Quran in their video. Let's go to the 22nd ayah. No, it's the 32nd. My eyes are getting worse and worse, alhamdulillah. Okay, so the 32nd ayah through the 40th ayah. And I'm using, once again, QuranExplorer.com. It's got tafsir on here and everything. It's got various translations that you could look through. It says in Surah Al-Qamar, it says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, it says, and we indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Then is there any that will receive admonition? The people of Lot rejected his warning, and we sent against them a violent tornado with showers of stones, which destroyed them, except Lot's household. Them we delivered by early dawn as a grace from us. Thus do we reward those who give thanks. And Lot did warn them of our punishment, but they disputed about that warning. And they even sought to snatch away his guests from him, but we blinded the eyes. They heard, now taste ye my wrath and my warning. Early on the morrow, an abiding punishment seized them. So taste ye my wrath and my warning. And we've indeed made the Quran easy to understand and remember. Once again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeating it, pointing out the fact. We've made it easy to understand and remember. Then is there any that will receive admonition? Were these people on the Jinn and Tonic Show, will they receive admonition? Or are they too arrogant and haughty, too self-assured that they've got it all figured out? Because their hearts are hard and they don't want to listen. Let's go to the last one. The 66th surah of the Quran, discussing homosexuality in the Quran and the punishment of the act that they claim the Quran did not say. Just a little while ago, you heard that in this video. Let's go to the 10th ayah. It says, Allah sets forth for an example to the unbelievers the wife of Noah and the wife of Lot. They were respectively under two of our righteous servants, but they were false to their husbands, and they profited nothing before Allah on their account, but were told, enter ye the fire along with others that enter. We're going to stop right there. If you don't listen to those verses and deduce the fact that homosexuality is being condemned in the Quran in 10 different surahs, in numerous ayah, then you basically are just, you're not trying to seek the truth. You're not trying to face the truth. You're not trying to accept admonition. You're not trying to respect the warnings that have been given you. You're not seeing the signs in the science. So I challenge you to engage yourself in seeking true knowledge and put aside all the things of this world and your self-inclinations and your arrogance, and to seek true knowledge and stop attacking Islam continually when you really don't know what you're talking about. So if you want to engage me in debate, you know who I'm talking to. Then you address me respectfully. You address me under the parameters that I set for the debate, and I will expose you for sure. I've exposed you twice in this video alone, and there's about 5 or 6 other topics that I could sit down with this very video, the last video that y'all made, and eat you alive. And I do it all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to speak the truth. Truly, anytime the truth is being spoken, ignorance has to flee. There's no doubt about it. So I challenge each and everyone who's listening to not accept hearsay. Seek knowledge for yourself. If something sounds like it's legitimate, well, look into it. It might not be. And if something sounds questionable, look into it. You might come to a new understanding about something that you have no knowledge of. I'll leave it by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and blessings upon each and everyone who hears and sees this video. I ask you to subscribe, like, and share this video. For all the atheists and the Islamophobes that are going to attack me because of this video, you really think that bothers me? No, it does not. Praise be to Allah. You can't touch me. So I'll leave you by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I do this all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our God, our Creator. Praise be to Allah.